Hey Crafty friend, it's me Justine. I hope you're doing well. Today I am going to be better pressing with you on camera. So there is the better press of the month for February called Flutter into Spring, and can you even believe how cute that hummingbird is? Let alone the stunning floral. So I'm really excited about this one. When I first saw that these were coming, I kind of squealed a little because I think hummingbirds are so cute. And then there's this little plate and die set, which is the BetterPress. It works with the BetterPress of the month, it says. Of course, it kind of coordinates, but this is the bonus item for Minnesota accent. The bonus item for the kitten caboodle. So it's not an add-on. It comes just with the caboodle, and it is really cute. It is so sweet. And you can better press and glimmer with this little guy. So you can maybe tell I've used this already. I had to go ahead and press out some hummers already before I started filming, just because I needed to get these ready for my stitched card, which by the time this video goes up, that one will be up. But I needed to press some of these out for my stitching, and I thought, you know, I have all the BetterPress stuff set up. Why don't I just film this one? So I'm going to. Okay. I am going to make a card with the floral, if I can kind of lay it out the way I'm thinking. I'm going to use the floral piece and then also both hummingbirds. So let's see. I kind of want my floral to go kind of like this. And then I have my two hummingbirds. The one that's flying with two wings showing is smaller, so that one is going to be kind of like in the background, I'm envisioning. And then my floral, maybe I'll just have it resting like that. Oh, that is so cute. I love these little guys. And then I have 3 sentiments to pick from. Get out of here. The one that comes with the caboodle add-on, or not the add-on, the caboodle is Hello Spring. And then the one that comes with the BetterPress is sending you a fluttering hello and wishing you a lovely day. So, I think I'm going to go with wishing you a lovely day, just because I have a lot of hello cards in my stash right now, and I think wishing you a lovely day could work with different occasions. I just don't know about my placement for my floral, so just hang on here. I need to think about this. I feel like this long twiggy part should be going up. So, maybe we'll kind of stick the floral like that and have the hummingbird kind of coming from the side maybe. Ooh, maybe we should have a portrait or landscape card. Let's do that. Okay. I'm just going to turn it so I can really visualize. And I can't wait to use my watercolor pencils with this because I've gotten to be quite fond of them, and the more I practice them, the better I like the result. So the more I like the result, and I think it's just working out. Oh, should I have the hummingbird kind of like drinking from this one? That would be kind of fun. Okay, well then I need the flower to be way over because I want more of the hummingbird, and then we'll have this one kind of coming off the edge. Maybe I can kind of tuck it in. I want that wing in there. Okay. And then this guy is going to be drinking up. I want those to be kind of straight. Oh, I just panicked because I thought it was not recording. The woes of YouTube. Okay. Now where did my little sentiment go? There he is. Wishing you a lovely day. I love that because I do say lovely a lot in my life, so I think that's pretty on brand for me. All right, before I start inking, I'm going to line up my paper. I have watercolor paper on here that is from Spellbinders because I'm going to be watercoloring. So that's all set. I'm using the smooth side of the watercolor just because I prefer that for detailed coloring like I'm going to do here. I'm not doing big backgrounds, or I'm not ink blending with distress. Definitely do not want to use watercolor paper for that. It will absorb every drop of your ink, and you will be inkless, and nobody needs that. Okay. So I better go this way so I can get that whole corner of the floral in, because if I put tape here, I'm going to miss that corner. So that is how it's going to go. I'm just going to rest it like that, and we'll ink it up. For this, since I'm going to use watercolor, I'm going to use black, but I'm going to do a second impression after I'm done with this one to really get, I like to call it the bang for my buck, even though we're not buying anything here. This is just crafting. But since I have this layout already good to go, and I like the layout, I think it will turn out really great. I can just kind of wipe the black off a little bit and add another kind of ink on top, and I don't have to replace all of my press plates. So, a little life hack for you. Now I think this little sentiment I probably will have to reposition. There we go. And I'll just get those hummers and the centers of the flowers really good. Cap my ink so it doesn't dry out, and pop my top on, and then I will send it through my 8.5 inch platinum right here. Let me know in the comments if you watched the live that Melanie and I did, or if you are a BetterPress babe. If you're a BetterPress babe, you're part of the Facebook group BetterPress Babes, and we just hit 1,000, and we just did a giveaway for 3 press plates, so maybe you were involved in that. Get out of here, that is so pretty. I can't even believe that. I have to take a picture of this and send it to Melanie real quick. Hang on. Okay. I can edit that out in video, but I don't know. Maybe you can relate. When you have something like this, you want to show your friend immediately, and Melanie is my gal for that. Okay, let me go ahead and wipe up some of the ink. I mean, most of it did go on the paper, but I don't really need a whole bunch of black ink chilling on my platform, so I'll just kind of give it a wipe and a pat. There's not cleaner on this rag right now, but I will be giving this a good wash after I'm done with my second impression. Okay, I have paper here somewhere. Okay, this is the all famous BetterPress paper. Not the watercolor, because I'm not going to watercolor with this one. This will be just the ink and the press plates doing all the work for me, and it just looks so amazing and professional. So, you know, I love the BetterPress, and that's that. Okay, for my inks. Now, if you watched the live, you saw I did a kind of red pinky trio kind of going on. But now I'm going to switch it up and do some light cool tones. And let's see. You know, they're coming out with new ink colors soon. I hope they have a purple. I don't have a purple ink for BetterPress yet, and I'm kind of sad about that. But we do have a lot of these tones. Mulberry is pretty much as close to purple as I'm going to get. But I'm going to lean into the blues here. So maybe I will pull out mulberry. Can't help it. Okay, mulberry, and let's go with, maybe we'll do pink, blue, purple. We're going to do mulberry, wildberry, and French blue. French. Let's do another one. Let's do also Cosmic Sky. I'm feeling a little chaotic this morning. I don't know if you can tell. I'm slightly panicking because I have kind of too many irons in the fire, just being blunt. Okay, I'm going to add some pink here, and we're going to go kind of diagonal with my colors. So I'm going to go light and hopefully make some kind of a gradient here. Wildberry, let's do mulberry next. Sorry, that sound is just quite annoying. French blue next. That is a really blue. think this blue is what we're just gonna kind of ink up on some of the hummers. Do you call them hummers? Hummingbirds? I mean, what do you call them? I call them hummingbirds, but also hummers. And I can't wait to get these little guys into my glimmer machine. I just can't believe how well the BetterPress plates glimmer. It just almost seems like it's too good to be true. Oh, does that make sense? I don't know. It's like all of a sudden my stamps can die cut, or like just, it's really neat. Okay, so I think I have a pretty good gradient there. If it does not turn out, that's just part of crafting, you know? So I'm just gonna hope for the best. And we'll pop this through my platinum. After watching a lot of my videos and editing my own videos like I do, I realized that I say pop a lot more than I used to, so the pop count maybe can happen here, but I need to say something else. You guys, look at that. That is so fun. Play around with your ink and magic can happen. That is so cool. Okay, I might have to pause and send that to Melanie too, but anyway, that is so fun. I can't believe it. This ink is just so fun to play with, and you can see the impression, at least I can here. The touch-o-vision, as they say, is just really cool, and I do like how it kind of picked up all those different colors. The French blue, I think, kind of got lost with the hydrangea and the cosmic sky, but you know, it's there in spirit. Wow, that is pretty. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna clean up my platform. If you don't know, I just use this cleaner. It's not my favorite, but it does the job. So I'm gonna clean it up and then we'll be right back. Now that my desk is all cleaned up, I can show you how pretty this looks. I matted it on some just purple paper I had in my craft room. I don't know the brand or anything. It just was some scrap that I had. And then you can see I did add just a little bit of Wink of Stella to the hummingbirds and the flowers. So there's a look at that. I love the result. All right, let's move on to the watercoloring of the main project. So I have the Distress Oxide colored pencils. Well, these are the watercolor pencils. And I also have the Ulta New ones. I find them comparable. So if you want my opinion on that, they're comparable. But they're both woodless and great, I guess. I don't know. They're not really too different from each other. But I did end up breaking my yellow mustard seed pencil, which I'm not thrilled about, so I'm going to have to get over that. But before I start coloring, I am going to go to the trusted good old Google and Google some hummingbirds. Of course, I know what hummingbirds look like, but I find that when I'm coloring, if I have a picture to go off of, it just makes it a little bit easier to make it look realistic. So I'm going to go ahead with this one. It's bringing me to an Amazon shop, which is always kind of sketchy. But I think this is like the ruby-throated one. So that is my inspiration for this one. So it looks like I don't need a whole lot of yellow, but maybe just a little bit right here, kind of on the base underneath the wing. And I'll do that on this one too. So when I use these watercolor pencils, I use them dry and then add water, and the vibrancy kind of kicks up even more. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one, which is called Cracked Pistachio, next. Just add some kind of that blue-greeny, gorgeous color for these little hummers. I didn't realize their bellies were kind of like a brown. That's interesting. I totally would not have colored them like that, so I'm glad that I looked this up. And the wings, their under wings are brown too, so okay, we're gonna go with it. So it's basically like their head and then their tail. right. And then we have a green. Ooh, this is Twisted Citron. No wonder I like this color. This is one of my favorite oxide colors for leaves and for stenciling. I love using this one. I'm just going to add a little bit near where I colored before. Not an exact science at all, people. Just add some color, you know. Okay, and then should we add a little bit of blue? I feel like it needs some kind of a light blue. Now Tim Holtz has set 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3 here. And he just announced that he's releasing set 4, which completes the set. So that means that he has, or will have, a color pencil or a watercolor pencil for all of the oxide inks. And I find that just so neat. So you go, dude. All right. By the eye, it's almost like a black brown. I'm thinking that walnut stain, I think that's going to be close. Now I'm going to sharpen this with my Stadler, whatever you want to call it, color sharpen pencil sharpener. This is my favorite pencil sharpener. So one I recommend to my kindergartners, and it's just the bomb. And I'm going to put this kind of in a few places. First by the mouth, and then on the beak on the bottom. Do that to both. And then kind of by the eye, but I am going to leave that white spot on the eye. And on this one, I'm going to take a white gel pen and add the eye, the sparkle to the eye. I don't know, I guess it just doesn't have one, but I think it looks a little more alive that way. Okay, and the feet. And I'll add it here a few places. So I am going to blend that up with a lighter color. So I think that's good. And then that's going to be, I guess that would be the underside of the wing. So we need to add some brown to this guy. Just color right over that. And it will blend. Looks like it's dark by the body and then lighter as we go. There's actually some red tones in there, so I think I'm going to use this one, Rusty Hinge, as well. Oh, the feet and the belly. I just don't know who would, I just don't know how you could not smile if you get a card like this. You're going to smile, I just know it. Rusty Hinge. I just feel like when I add the pink and the red to the necks, it's going to take this over the top. So let's think about what I'm going to do first. I'm looking at 3 reds here, and I think the red I want to use is this Candied Apple, just because it is very bright. The Barn Door and the Crackling Campfire are a little redder, and I'm looking, or orangey, we'll just say darker. And I don't know, I think this is the one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Just start making that throat going like that. And then add some pink. What pink can I use? Ooh, for sure, picked raspberry, which I fondly call pickled raspberry, even though that's not the name. And then I think I need to add a little more brown after this, so we'll see how this turns out. Oh my goodness, that is so fun. And then pink over here. Anytime I can add pink, purple, or blue into a card, I am a happy lady. Okay, and now I need to add more green on the top of this guy's head, or kind of greeny blue. I don't know enough about the hummingbirds to know if the males and females look different, but I know in nature that happens quite often. All right, let's go with Vintage Photo because that's one of my favorite oxide colors, and I think this is just a lighter kind of brown for the belly. And I think that will be great. Do you have hummingbirds where you live? I know we do in Minnesota, only in the summer because the poor little things would not survive in this bleak winter. But I think they're very cute. Okay, now that all the color is on the birds, we're good to go. Now, I don't know what flower this is, so I'm going to try to figure that out. Okay, I'm fairly certain that these flowers are anemones, or if they're not, they look pretty close. So I'm going to go with this pretty anemone to kind of color my flowers with. And now I don't know what these little other ones are that the hummingbirds would be kind of getting the nectar from, but that's okay. I'm just going to see what it looks like once the anemones are colored, and then probably just pick a color that looks good with it. Maybe purple, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. The Tim Holtz pencils are definitely a little softer to apply onto the paper than the Alta new ones are very firm. So if that matters to you, this firmness or softness, I would definitely maybe try one or two before you make the decision of which one to get. But that's just my opinion. You can take it or leave it per usual. And then with this picked raspberry, I'm just going to outline the lines that are already on there from the BetterPress, and then just kind of shade the pink on to get a richer color but not totally lose that light pink. I'm using the side of the pencil. You can kind of see what that looks like before I start using the tip for more. And then any part of the leaf that's like this, that's bent over, I always color darker just because it's assumed that it is folded. So in my opinion, it would be shaded. Kind of like right there on the flower. There, that is looking very nice. So maybe I'll add just a tiny bit of seedless preserves. I don't know, maybe this will be the inside. Anemones seem to have very dark centers. The flowers that I was looking up here, I love the white ones, like these, with it's almost like a purple navy blue in the inside. They're just gorgeous, but red and purple are also very popular colors here. So I'm just, oh, blue anemones, what? Oh, now I'm gonna have to make another one of these cards and do blue. That is stunning. How did I not see that before? Okay, maybe I'll just make the little flowers blue to make up for that. I can't help make a blue and a blue flower on a card. I feel like they should be in nature more. Now this is called Shaded Lilac, and I know Shaded Lilac, the ink color, and it is this light purple. That is not light purple, I'm just gonna say. So I don't know about this pencil, but okay, I'm gonna go with it. I'm using it. Now on these, I am going to leave a little bit of some shadow on the flowers. I'm not going to color all of the pieces. I'm gonna leave some white. I'm going to leave some for the greens to pop out, but just kind of let the anemones and the hummingbirds be the star of the show, as it were. I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Then we need a lighter blue. Let's use Tumbled Glass. I think I need to sharpen this guy up too because some of the details on this are very, very intricate, which again, I can't wait to get this BetterPress plate onto a glimmer machine because it's going to be so detailed and so pretty. I just have a good feeling about this one. I mean, every time I have BetterPressed, I have not made mistakes yet, so fingers crossed. It's kind of one of those things that looks daunting, making a BetterPress, or maybe you have the BetterPress at home and you're just thinking, I don't want to know how to do that, and I don't know, it's just too much, another thing to learn. Just try it. I don't know, especially if you already have it and you bought it and it's just sitting there. What is the cost of it just sitting there in your craft room? You've already bought it. You might as well try, you know? So I would love to encourage you to just try it out. And you can go ahead and follow the playlist. I have a whole playlist about BetterPress on my channel here. So I have a lot of inspiration for you. I almost have, I think, every BetterPress plate that's come out. But I don't know. I really like the BetterPress. I think that it is one of those really fun things for the card making industry that is just pretty innovative. I know that the letterpressing is not new at all. I'm not ignorant to that fact, but the BetterPress is a better version of the older style letterpress. So I love it when things like this are embraced in the industry of the card world, because I don't know, people don't send cards as much anymore, and I like that the industry is still innovative and coming up with all sorts of fun ways to use it. So whether that be glimmering or BetterPressing, it's just, to me, all around impressive. Haha, there's a pun for you. Okay, peeled paint. Let's finish off my anemone flowers with this. I'm going to leave a little white at the top as like a shine on the leaf. And then, yeah, it's too pink down there to add any green. I think I'm going to add, let's see, maybe I'll do that dark green again. Rustic Wilderness. Sounds like a man's body wash. I just love the names of things like this. It just is so silly to me. Pickled raspberry is hands down my favorite knockoff name. Okay, now it's time to add water. So I'm going to cover these up so they don't get wet. I mean, you can use these wet too. I'm not really into mold. Not that anyone is, but that's probably a really weird thing to say. I'm not really into mold. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add water. I'm using my Mighty Mister. It is my jam. It is wonderful for misting, for embossing folders, but it also works for getting some water onto my canvas for this. Aha, here's my paintbrush. Didn't even put it away from really the last time I used it. And I don't think I washed it, so I don't see any color coming out, so I think we'll be fine. But anyway, I'm going to do the pink flowers first because they're just kind of speaking to me. I like to go from the darkest spot and kind of activate that a little. Sometimes I'll go from the light spot and then kind of wiggle it down. For some of these, it just really wakes up the colored pencil and kind of turns your project from kind of a messy crayon look to a really pretty watercolor. And it looks like you painted that. I mean, I kind of am painting it, but you mostly are just coloring. I mean, you watched me do this. I wasn't too crazy with shading and staying in lines. It just kind of can be free a little bit. I also like just having water on my glass mat like this, because when I am watercoloring and switching from color to color, I mean, I've gone from pink to green now, I don't have to have this big cup on my desk to spill all over the place. It really just works for me. So I'm glad to have my glass mat. If you haven't realized this by now, I am not a very picky card maker or crafter. I just kind of go with the flow. So I don't know. I hope you've liked the other clubs this month. I think that this month is really cool. Last month with the bees, that was so neat. And if you missed the bees, I don't know, maybe they'll have them on their past club sale, as they sometimes do. But it is just so fun to get something new every month. And if you are like me, it's kind of fun to have a good variety. And I think Spellbinders does a good job adding variety to their items. It's not just flowers coming every month, or it's not just sentiments. It's a whole bunch of different stuff. And anytime they have little critters, I don't know, my heart flutters. So I am in love with how this hummingbird is turning out. It's really going from blah to wow. At least I think so. And then I'm just kind of wiping my brush off as I change colors, but I don't want to really mix too much of the colors on the body, because I have them in certain spots for a reason. But oh my, this is really turning out nicely. Just another example of why I like the watercolors. And to watercolor that and color, I mean, that probably took maybe 15 minutes. So that's not bad, I would say, for a whole coloring and everything. And then the BetterPressing, if I were just to do that one, that would take maybe 5 minutes with cleanup. So, I mean, I think a 20-minute card, this is pretty good. So I do have this one cut down just a little bit from the A2. So it's not quite an A2. I cut off a little bit. So it is now 4 by 5 1/4. And I think this pink is really going to work with that. Do I like that, or do I want lighter? I don't know. Both look good to my eye, but I just can't decide. Ooh, that really ties in the blue. I'm going to go with this one. I will have the name of that paper in the description. I don't have it on hand right now, but I know that is Spellbinders paper because I can feel it and I know their paper. But I am going to go ahead and leave you here. I'm going to put these onto card bases right now. They're just card fronts. But I'll put them on card bases, take pretty pictures, and I'll pop them on the end of the video, and I will pop them on my Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. And that's at Stationery by Justine. And then join the BetterPress Facebook group, just called BetterPress Babes. And we can be crafty friends on there. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and be grateful all day and every day. Bye, babe.